$19.95 today. That's a steal. All right, Deb, let's slide.
Okay, this one's my favorite.
Last item. This is Deb's favorite.
This is my favorite.
This is brand new. We have had it available, I believe, on .com, but we've never aired it before. But so many people have been picking it up that we said it's time to air this. And this is our Tupperware. It's called PickADeli and SnackStor bundle. What you are getting is you're getting two separate containers. First of all, you get the, I love this.
Open it up. Wait till you see. Have you seen inside?
Oh, I gotta look at it.
All right. So
look what's in
whether
here.
you're making homemade pickles or you're buying a big jar of pickles, that's how you pull them up out of there. Instead of having to have a fork that you're digging down in there.
I buy cherries in jars because I get these really good cherries at Publix, so I use them when I make duck.
Oh, nice.
And having to stick your fingers in cherry juice is now, I could just transfer it right to here.
I love that.
And then I can pull those right out.
I want to hear about the duck recipe with the cherries.
Good,
that sounds amazing.
So good.
But you're getting that, which is the PickADeli, right?
Yeah, that's the pick. So for your pickles and things like that.
This is the storage container they're calling like a deli container. I personally, I told you, I have a very big attachment to this. When I was a little girl, my grandmother had this very unit, only it was beige in color in the 60s, and that's what my grandma kept the cookies in. And this is, look at how many cookies fit in there so beautifully, so perfectly, and I'll bet my grandma in the 60s paid as much for the whole set just for this one piece. And again, my grandmother's cookies would last in there for months and months and months. They'd never get stale. The lid would just fit on there so tight.
By the way, that's
so
118 ounce capacity inside there as well. I love that I don't have one piece that looks like this. And yet I have baking dishes that look like that, but then nowhere to store the leftover cake. Right? Here we're showing you the pickles. Now this could be olives. I made a mistake about 2 years ago. I bought a jar, or what I thought was a jar of green olives off Amazon. They're the imported green, beautiful olives. So the jar comes, it's one of the big restaurant jars.
Oh yeah, like at Restaurant
And I
Depot.
have yet to open it because I'm like, once I open it, I'm gonna have 5,000 olives that I need to eat. And the reason I bought it is I make a thing called chicad, which is smashed olives with olive oil and all kinds of spices, and you put it on bread. It's delicious. It's an Italian thing. So I bought it for that, but I have yet to open that can. If I had, I had this, I could put most of the olives in there. I could put the rest in another piece of Tupperware.
Precisely.
And then when I need them, all I got to do is lift it up.
Pull it up.
Pickled eggs.
So I did pickled eggs and pickled beets at the same time. This is something have you ever tried these? You should taste these.
My grandmother used to pickle eggs.
And did she do it with
I tried one once, and I wasn't a big fan of it.
Okay.
Only because it was, what I realized when I pickle, it's very dry.
Dry?
Like the egg was like really dry, but it could have been just grandma's way of doing things.
I don't know, but I feel like we need a knife. We need to go in, because I actually made these the first time when we were supposed to air these.
If you made it.
I feel like I'm ready to go there. You ready, Pat?
Yeah.
So see how it's pickled all the way through? And see if it's dry. Do you like beets? Because it'll have a beet flavor to it. So it should have a very good beet flavor to it.
All right, here we go.
So when
Pickled eggs for the first time in a long time.
I hope you
God
love
bless
it.
you, Grandma.
But it
had so much
doesn't seem
stuff
really
in that cellar.
Oh yeah, we did too.
The house was a little scary.
Oh, I loved it. I thought my grandma's was magical. I just didn't like it when the jars, sometimes when the lids would explode on the peaches.
That's really good.
Isn't that delicious?
Maybe it's what she was pickling it in.
Maybe. So sometimes if somebody puts too much vinegar.
Oh, I love that.
Isn't that yummy? Isn't that, I mean, the fresh dill that we put in here and garlic. That is completely different.
She was pickling it.
And yummy?
Hers were in like a yellow sauce.
Yeah.
And it was just, I don't know what it was. It tasted like her basement.
But what we like to do is I'll make like big batches of pickles, and like I'll make homemade pickles, or I'll make pickled watermelon rind, or I'll do bread and butter pickles, pickled beets, and instead of putting them in jars.
I do my own pickled onions.
Oh, I love the red pickle for the tacos. Yum, 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 yum. But when you make them, just leave your ingredients in the boiling brine until it cools. Then you pop them in here, and now it's so easy to get at them. Now these are designed so that this fits on the door handle of your refrigerator.
Yeah.
So see this, you can get 2 or 3 of these, and then they fit right there. So you have all of your yummy pickled items.
You also, if you're not pickling and you remove the little tray, you have a really great storage shape that I've never seen before. I love this size.
I love that
because you can put anything in there, dry or wet.
You sure could. And now take a little snack. So this is like, I've made just some, we could have tea sandwiches in
Yeah.
here. I did make these, they are edible.
Oh, I believe you.
And, that's that Krakus Polish ham and a little provolone and a little bib lettuce. But these are so fun because you could put your sandwiches in here when you're traveling on the road. I made little pinwheels for a little tea
I'm really
luncheon.
glad I took a bite of that.
And I told you, I think sometimes you're afraid, like, oh no, that's food
No, you know what it is?
styling.
Because I do the Tasty Show, and I eat so much during that whole thing that by the time I leave, I'm ready to explode.
Exactly.
So my mind is telling me don't eat too much, but I had to. That's great. I love the display.
Isn't that fun? And
Beautiful.
again, taking it to a bunco party. You know, it's everything about Tupperware is about you're going to make it in here, you're going to present it in here, you're going to transport it in here. One of my catering business things that we are very famous for is our charcuterie, and we always do them on the wooden boards.
Yeah.
But I love the fact that I can pack all of the ingredients for my charcuterie and then present them when I take them out of here and put them on the boards when I get there. But they're airtight. They're not going to get wet in the cooler. They're not going to fall out all over. Again, it's the airtight seal. You're getting this and you're getting the PickADeli. We've never done the whole presentation on this. I hope you get a whole bunch of them.
By the
they
way,
are amazing.
We have an HSN credit card offer that'll cut this price down in more than half. So if you get a brand new HSN credit card, we'll put $25 in your account. You can use it on this. This is one of those go-to pieces that you're going to use every time you have to go somewhere with food. All right, when you think about it, I love the fact that you said you do your charcuterie in there ahead of time. Heck, you could do it right out of there.
Right.
If you're on a boat, you're not transferring that
No,
unless you're on a
no.
really rich boat and they do that stuff. And you have chefs. But I love that if you're making food ahead of time. If you have food that takes up a lot of space, like if you do a sheet cake and you got 3/4 of it left and you're like,
perfect.
I don't want to put that big glass pan in my refrigerator.
Right.
You can scoop it out and you can put it in there for that.
But
Here, look at this. This gives you an idea of the capacity.
That's a huge capacity. I mean, that's a lot of cookies. We've got, a half dozen Sammys. We've got 24 of the Fig Newtons. And then the chocolate cream ones, I think there's at least 24 of those. And there's about 48 of the butter cookies.
Yep.
So again, it's the way it's a rectangle. It's designed to be airtight. It's absolutely beautiful.
That'd be great at holiday when you're making cookies.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Because
Great.
I have like cookie trays, but then you have to put cellophane over them, and they never last. Remember, with that airtight seal, you're not only maintaining that freshness, but you're also keeping all the little creepy crawlies out. Because if you think you don't have bugs in your house, you're crazy. Everybody has some kind of an ant or something in there. This keeps it nice and secured. Or if you're traveling with it, right? Because I would imagine you could might be able to get some smaller cupcakes in there too. You could do a variety of different things in here. You get both of these for $44.95. It's our HSN deal price and flex pay. Everything is 5 flex today. $8.99 gets it home. So again, we're really trying to get you organized, but we're trying to do it in a way with quality. Remember, all the pieces you're looking at have that lifetime warranty. You're not going to see that on anything you buy in any of the local grocery stores. They're just not going to do it, all right? They make their money off repetition of sales, right? We know people are going to go through aluminum foil, so we sell rolls and rolls and rolls of aluminum foil. And same with plastic wrap, same with to-go containers, all that stuff. And did you ever notice the cheapest to-go containers are always the ones you get from like a restaurant or like a fast food place? Because they have to do that.
Right.
And they know you're only going to, it's going to be in that container for 10 minutes, and then you're going to eat it. But when you have food and you're trying to save money, especially as Deb's brought up a couple times, the prices of everything, especially produce, things like that, right? Obviously imported things, but when you have stuff that's valuable, you need to get as much mileage out of it as you can. And that's what Tupperware, that's been their message. Listen, do it, but do it right. Create a quality product that's going to make people be like, you know what? That's a good purchase. I'm gonna get my money out of this. I really am. And if everything was like that, we would all be in a lot better shape.
We sure would.
Unfortunately, a lot of things get mass produced and a lot of things get ripped off, and that's part of business. We understand that. But it's really nice to see that somebody still stands tall with that kind of quality.
And I will say that, like, it doesn't mean they haven't made a mistake in their lifetime, but they stood behind it.
And that's what I
mean, I love the fact that they have listened to our viewers and said, this is what you want, this is what we're going to give you. You know, they talk to you, they care about.
Well, and they customize. Like a piece like this, a regular company would never do that because they'd be like, well, how many people are making their own pickles? But then when you look at it, and I said to you, you take the tray out, now you just have great storage.
Precisely.
And you could use that for anything, right?
Yep,
You could
even
but
for
anything,
your
anything that's suspended in a liquid can go in there. But then you could put your sugar in there.
Yep,
Your flour
exactly.
in there
It could be
if
your
you wanted
canister.
to. Yeah.
But I personally just love it for the pickle part. Like if you think about, do the math, okay? When you go in the grocery store and they say it's 2 for 1 on the pickles, okay? The price of 2 for 1, if you buy one huge jar, it's still cheaper to buy the one huge jar.
Yeah.
Why don't you buy the one
Per
huge
ounce.
jar? Because what are you gonna do? The big glass jar takes up a lot of refrigerator, doesn't fit on the door. How do you get it out?
That's so funny you said that,
Oh, it's
because
so
the
true.
other, I was gonna say the other day, it was actually probably a month or so ago. And I was looking at the size, because I read that. I read the
Right,
cost per ounce.
right.
I do that all the time, all right, because you can save a lot of money that way. And I remember the smaller containers, and I'm like, it's a ripoff.
It is a ripoff.
If you buy the big one, hey, listen, that's where the clubs came from, right?
Right.
Buy in bulk.
Right.
You're always gonna save money because it's less prep time and it's less human time to wrap all those little things up when they can put it in a big container.
Precisely.
So when you buy that, you will get the better price, and then you can transfer it into these containers.
So they're easier
and
to
now
use.
it's like you got your own deli.
And again, do you want to watch really quick? I don't know
Whatever,
if we
Deb,
didn't
whatever, you got
script it.
12 seconds.
But if we take a look right here, Pat, see, these are designed to fit in here.
Yeah.
Which that is not, your big jar of pickles is
Right.
not going to fit in
And it's
here.
not tippy, it's
It's
vertical.
not tippy, it's vertical, it's very substantial. You're gonna love it, and I love the fact that, like I said, you're not sticking a fork in there and having the pickle fall off. You're able to pull up what you need, get what you need out, drop the rest below. I love that. I want to hear about the cherry and the duck, because I've gotten very good at duck. Do you like making duck tacos?
I've done duck tacos, but what I do,
love duck
and I will even buy, I'll go and buy a whole duck once in a while, but I've got a really good website that does half ducks.
Ah.
You probably know of them. Anyway, it's a whole thing. It's the sauce that takes forever, because I use cherry juice in the sauce.
Yum.
I reduce it, I use veal stock, all that. I
Yum.
mean, I make a